When you find yourself at rock bottom or ground zero, there's every possibility that your mind begins to wander to the negative. You start to see all the reasons why you shouldn't exist. Your mental health has the potential to be on the decline, like I found myself. And to be honest, it's still something that I'm working on. This is where depression can be at its peak because everything has pointed to you being a failure. Even up until 2 days ago, I still saw how I have failed. And the thing is, I've accepted myself as a failure at this very moment that I'm making this video. I failed in several aspects of my life. But you see, the way I see failure isn't all negative. I feel like being a failure has shown me how I need to win. And that is the mindset that I'm taking forward with me. Granted, I have mourned the resource, time, and every other thing that I feel like I've wasted. I've mourned the version of me that I feel like should have done better. Trust me, I've gone through situations where I look back on and I cringe because I believe I should have made better choices. But then I'm also working towards self forgiveness. And one of the ways that I am healing myself in this aspect is through focusing my attention on the positive. Now, what kinds of positives can come out from being at rock bottom? I'll tell you. One thing for sure is that when you're at rock bottom, you are able to see things from a perspective that the others are not privy to because you're at a bottom position. So you have a view, just like someone who is at the top has a bird's eye view from up down. You have a an exclusive view from the bottom up that people up will not have. And when you integrate this into any form of situation that you have, any kind of situation that you find yourself, you would see that there are some things that you need to observe. There are some lessons that you needed to have learned that you wouldn't have learned in the initial level that you were playing at. So for me, after a period of time beating myself up, I needed to shift my perspective. I started to see that perhaps being at this level was revealing to me some things that I wouldn't have otherwise seen before. The truth is, you're currently at rock bottom because you have lessons that you need to learn. There are lessons that you need to learn because you need to be able to build a strong foundation in that aspect of your life. And if you don't have a strong foundation and by luck or chance you find your way back to the top, there's a possibility that you might find yourself back down. When I think about it, and I think about my life, there were situations where I had started something and for some reason it will fall back down. And I'm realizing that one of the reasons was because I didn't have a strong foundation, and I didn't have a strong foundation because I didn't learn the lessons complete that I was supposed to learn. And for someone who wants to build wealth, for someone who wants to build a strong foundation in whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you need to be able to have these intricate details. Perhaps that is why you're currently at the position that you find yourself. There was a period in my life where I was homeless. I'm still homeless, by the way, but my life situation is a bit better than it was 2 years ago. And I found myself at the gutters of the gutters. I'm not even going to lie to you, it was a very devastating situation. But then I started to have a mindset shift that perhaps maybe I was supposed to provide some form of solution for that problem. And when I started to see things like that, things started to shift in that mindset, and it was much easier for me to move myself from that position. I was no longer fighting it, but then I started to pay attention to what the universe was showing me. I'm hoping that this time around I've learned enough lessons to move forward in my life, because it can be excruciating, it's depressing to have to move to level 5, and then there's something shaking, and then I have to start again all over. So for you, I would say that you need to look at being at rock bottom from a positive perspective, and that positive perspective is that you have an exclusive view. Now, let's look at it this way. There are some problems that have arisen. Is arisen a word? There are some new problems that have emerged with the times that we're in. And these new problems require new solutions. These new problems require solutions from people who have seen things and experienced it and can come up with a sustainable solution. And one of the ways you are able to come up with a sustainable solution is if you have experienced that problem, or you're connected to that problem in a strong way. Now, being at rock bottom reveals a lot of loopholes and problems that need solutions. Your position right now at rock bottom is for you to observe what these problems are and see how you can be of service to preferring solutions for them. Apart from learning your lessons, your personal lessons, which your soul has come to learn, you need to be able to observe how this position plays a role in your future wealth creation. That's the way I see it. You need to observe how the position that you are currently finding yourself plays a role in you building impact in the level that you know that you would eventually go to.